Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is Landa Jeray Morgan, and as always, I'm with my beautiful wife.
Hi, I'm Rotunda Morgan.
And you're tuned in to another episode
of Living More with the Morgans.
And you guys, as always, and I have to say as always, babe, we got a good one for you guys. And so we want you to relax, kick it. And as you can see, we're in the Christmas spirit, the holiday spirit. We got the snow going. It's cold. We got the sweaters on. Baby looking good, y'all. And so, y'all, absolutely. And so, y'all, we feeling festive. We feeling Christmassy. We're in the holiday spirit, of course, and we want you to do the same. And so as you enjoy Living More with the Morgans, go ahead and share this video. Invite somebody to go ahead and check it out with you. And as always, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just hit that button below. Hit that bell notification, and you can always stay updated on what's going on with Living More with the Morgans right there on our YouTube channel. You can also hit us up on our social media pages. We're all over social media, you guys. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Threads, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. You name it, you'll find Living More with the Morgans there. And so you guys, once again, share this with your people. Let them know ain't no cussing, ain't no fussing, ain't no gossip, ain't none of that on Living More with the Morgans. Why? Because it's all about living more. More life, more love, and there's so much more to explore. So, babe, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Yeah. You looking good.
Oh, thank you, babe. Thank you.
I'm look trying. So handsome.
I'm trying to do it.
Oh, you don't have to try. You look wonderful.
Thank you, babe. Thank you.
Welcome.
And so, babe, you know, we just got out of the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yes.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. We enjoyed it with some friends and their family. Of course, it's nothing like being with my family, of course. This is my second year without mom and dad. So I admit at first I was a little apprehensive about going to visit with others, and but I kept hearing my mom in my ear and my dad saying, go and enjoy, So I think we had a great time. We had our daughter with us as well. So we had a wonderful Thanksgiving. What about you? How was it for you? I know you don't jive with Thanksgiving as much.
But here's the thing. And now I'm starting to learn how to really get into the Thanksgiving mood, right?
That's good.
And so even though I'm not really a foodie person and all that different stuff, I am a family person. And so I do enjoy getting around family, even if it's around good friends and everything. And that's what we were able to do, like you said. It's just get around good friends and people that you've grown up with, and I've learned to accept as extended family over the past years that we've known each other, and we've been married. And so I thought it was good. I had a great time. Plenty of food. Man, they threw down on that food.
They threw down.
Yeah. So shout out to Lydia and the F family. Man, y'all threw down for real.
Yes,
and so
and Mama Ruth.
How was your Thanksgiving holiday? So we're coming out and we're transitioning out, but we're still in the holiday season.
Yeah.
You guys, and this is my favorite time of the year.
Mine too.
Honestly, man.
Yeah, mine too. I like both.
I like both. But it's something about Christmas, man. I think, from being a kid and just, seeing mom and dad decorate the house and, getting all excited about gifts and Santa Claus and family and all that stuff. And so, and here in Texas, we never got every now and then we would get some cold weather.
Yes.
So when we got cold weather, I think it made it better. Like we got a little bit of snow, that just made it more Christmassy, whatever. And so, I look forward to this time of year. I look forward to closing out the year. But I think one thing that I also, as I've gotten older, I've learned that in order to bring in the new year, we got to really kind of close out the current year strong.
Correct.
And sometimes, and the best way that I think to do that is to really take a retrospective look and take an assessment of what did we get right? What could we have gotten better on, and where could we have improved? Where did we miss it? And in every area. And so I think this is the show today, you guys, that we're really going to focus on, taking that look back in 2025 and saying, okay, what did 2025 really teach us? and what will 2026 bring us, right?
That's good.
What kind of expectations do we have in the coming year? And so we're going to dig into a couple of topics throughout the show in different segments. So we want you guys to really stay tuned on this, because I think we're going to pull out some hardware that you're going to really be able to use, not just now as we close out the year, but I think in 2026 and ongoing. I think we've got some nuggets and some wisdom and just some experiences that I believe that we'll share on the broadcast that'll really help you guys, and because it's helped us, and it's helping us, right? It's continual, and it's still speaking for some of the things and experiences that we've learned and that we're currently learning. And so we're gonna have some fun today, you guys, and as always, we want to dig into things about family, about life, about marriage, but we want to dig into some practical stuff as well, like finances. Those are things that I think we need to be talking about.
Absolutely,
we're entrepreneurs, and so that is a big part of us. But overall, all of that is our faith,
right?
Because I think without our faith, we don't have
nothing.
We don't have nothing,
right?
I mean, like Jack, we have nothing, right? And so we put the faith at the forefront,
right,
as at the top of the tree.
Absolutely.
And then the branches are the different things that we're experiencing in our marriage, in our relationships with other people, in our own emotions, in our own personal lives, and how that trickles down to everything else that we've got going on with business and philanthropy and all these different things. And so we want to share that with you guys that are watching, because I think even if you're not married, if you're single, if you're looking, if you're dating or whatever, I think there's some nuggets that are going to be in today's show that you could really get something out of.
Right.
And I think for me, just jumping right into this, 2025, and I'll be honest, and as always, we're always transparent on this show. 2025 was a rough year. It was a rough year, and it was a rough year. It was a rough year for us, and I won't say marriage-wise, but there were challenges that we really had to navigate, right? We've had some tough years. We had some rough years relationally in our marriage up to 2025, of course, that we've survived through. Like, we had to scratch and claw and kick to get
scratching and surviving.
Yeah, scratching and surviving. I mean, it was good times.
Good times.
Every day, every day up in this mug. But I for this year, because, and I'll be honest, babe, I think there was so many. I know me personally, I had so many expectations of 2025. But I learned something in that, and I'll jump into that a little bit later. But I learned that I can have expectations of, hey, I want this to happen in business. I want this to happen in our marriage. I want this to happen with our finances, all these different things. But what I did learn is that you have to prepare before you go into a thing.
That's
and not just a new year, right?
Right.
Because sometimes I think we get caught up in these mantras and these catchphrases that is commercialized and pushed at us, like, oh, new me, new year, new you, all this different stuff. Everybody wants to hit the gym. Everybody wants to start their businesses up because it's the new year. And I think when we have those kinds of expectations but without true preparation, that's come time March, we're kicking ourselves in the forehead, because it's like it's another year like we've been through before.
Right. And what we tend to do is name it and claim it, pray, spin around 20 times and come back to the life as it is. And we haven't done anything to prepare for what we're wanting or what we're envisioning or what we believe for. Right. Even with God, you have to, if you're believing for something in your life, God wants you to do what? You start preparing for the things. He prepares us. It's just like we say this all the time, God's not going to give a 5-year-old a Lamborghini or car.
Right.
He's not. Because why? He's not ready for that car. So you have to be ready and prepared for the things that you are hoping for, dreaming for, and you have asked God for. Right.
And one thing that stands out, Bae, that you said is the name it, claim it.
Yes.
And I really want to jump in on that real quick, because those of us that are people of faith,
right?
Whether you Christian, Muslim, whatever, people of faith usually have that mentality of this name it and claim it. This is gonna be my year. I claim it. I claim it in the name of Jesus. And so forth and so on. And again, I think those are little routine nuances that we psych ourselves out every year by saying this is going to be this, and I'm going to get this
without doing the work.
You just took it out of my
without
mouth.
Doing the work,
without doing the work, and without doing the preparation,
and without doing
without
preparing.
And it's like there's a passage of scripture, and I'm gonna paraphrase it, where Jesus is talking and says, "Who among you would go and build a house and not count the cost?" Right. And so in that scripture, he's not necessarily talking about a house, but I believe he says tower. I'm sorry.
It is a tower.
It's a tower.
Right.
And when you build it, but you can say house, but when he's talking about tower, he's talking about something that oversees not just what you have, but what oversees a jurisdiction, or what oversees others.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That are under your watch. And so for you to go and build something like that, you have to prepare it. You have to survey the land. You have to, there's what are the materials going to cost, so forth and so on. And so if you go into a new year and you don't take that assessment, and you don't take inventory of what it is that I'm going to need in order to get the outcome that I want next year, then I think you're kidding yourself.
Right.
And so we tend to fall into these routines of, I'm believing for this. I'm naming, I claim it. And like you said, we spin around 20 times. When we roll in the aisle, we spit, and we got 20 gospel songs we singing, and all this different stuff. And nothing's wrong with that. But there is something wrong with that if you're not getting the impact and the results that you're expecting year after year after year.
Faith without works is dead.
Bingo.
Being in it alone.
Yeah.
You have to do something, not just for the next year, but you want to look long term as well.
Right. Right.
So those are some of the things that I think that for us to share with you, that you guys, that we are learning.
Well, absolutely. We had to learn it, and I know. We had this, what is the plan? Right. Again, you can have expectations until you're blue in the face.
Right.
And you can do all the cool Christian-y, churchy stuff that we do. But if you're not doing the practical things,
right.
I believe it was a scripture that your father used to really tell you about, consider the ant, you sluggard.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at what the ant is doing. The ant is in the summertime.
Yeah.
He's storing up. Right. He's storing up for the time that it's going to be cold like it is now.
Right.
And so during the summer months, when everybody's doing this and everybody's doing all blah, 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 that ant is saying, there's going to come a season where I'm going to wish I had stored up what it is that I'm going to need at that time.
That's right.
Right.
God used that parable for us so that we'll understand that there's seed time and harvest, right? There's seed time and harvest. So it's in the word. This is not our word. This is in the word.
Right.
We have to prepare. Like you said, when the summertime comes, that's when we do what? We start to put away things. So when wintertime comes, what happens? We're ready. So if we're snowed in, we got the food, we got the necessities that we need in order to survive.
So why is it that, and let's just hit on business real quick.
Right.
Why is it that we wait until November, December to ramp up?
Right.
Right. Like even in business, I see people, and in the industry that we're in, you guys, we're in the marketing and digital design and graphic design and so forth, and web development industry. And so we tend to see people say, I'm waiting till the end of the year so that I can come out, come January or whatever, and then I'll be ready to do business.
Right.
And again, we're psyching ourselves out with these routines that don't work. And so January comes and you don't get anything in the ground.
No.
February comes, you don't get anything in the ground. March comes, here you are in spring. You've wasted a whole quarter, a whole 3 months, and you didn't do anything that you said you were going to do back in November, December of the previous year.
Right.
But here's the thing. Why are you not storing up and preparing in the summer? You understand what I'm saying? That ant, you mean to tell me that ant has enough wisdom to prepare for business in the summer, but here it is, you're talking about, oh, I'm going to do this and this in January. For what? Now the new year has come. Now you're 3 months is going to go by like that. Now you're in the spring, in the summer months, and then we look up and we see, well, I haven't accomplished anything. I haven't been as productive as I would have been because you started in December and January.
It's like building a house. It's already built. You built the house. Now you put now you're going to buy furniture.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Right.
You go pick out the things for the house before the house is what? Completed.
Well, exactly. Like if you know you're expecting
just like having a baby.
A baby, exactly. If you know you're expecting a child, and you, especially if you know the gender of the baby, I'm not going to go and start buying blue stuff.
Right.
Once the day after you've delivered the baby.
Even if you didn't know the gender of the baby, babe,
you're going to prepare the house.
Yeah, the baby's going to need diapers.
Right.
Female or male.
Exactly. So you're going to prepare the house.
Yes.
Ahead of time because hey, I'm expecting. There's that word. Yeah. I'm expecting this arrival of something big, of something that's going to take space, that's going to take my time and my resources to be able to maintain it. And so, go ahead, honey.
It's a lack of fear. It's fear. It's not a lack of fear. It's fear. Fear. Mm-hmm. It's fear and trust. That's why. How do I know? We've done it.
We've done it. Right.
It's fear. People don't count the cost because they're afraid. They're afraid. What if this fails? Fear of if I fail, fear of my friends or my colleagues or my family are, saying, I know it wasn't going to work. It's not going to work. Why are you doing it? Don't quit your job. You getting all this money. Why would you do that? It's the fear. And when you put the wrong people around you or the wrong information in your ear, then what happens? You start to listen to that and you start to take that in and you start to function off of what you've heard or what you see. Wow. People will tell you like they've told us, well, I've never seen it done before. Okay. What does that have to do with me? You've never seen it done before. But if you were given a word or if you believe in what it is that God is giving you or what it is that you believe you're supposed to be doing, you do it. The fear is always going to be there. You understand?
And absolutely, 100%. And one thing I can say with that is, and you tell me this often, and you say this often, is that you have to do it and go in spite of the fear.
In spite of the fear.
And so, oftentimes, I think what happens. And you mentioned fear. I think we let a lot of other people's voices get in our heads, like you said. What if this doesn't happen? What if this doesn't work? Right. What I see now, like we're in a time where everybody wants to start a business, right? Everybody's trying to be an entrepreneur because nobody wants to go to work and nobody wants to do this and so forth and so on. And so it's a trend now and it's popular now. When we were getting into business 15 plus almost 20 years ago, 17 years ago.
Yes.
It wasn't popular to start no business because people were saying, "Oh, if I was you, I wouldn't leave that job." And we had some nice jobs, right? We was making six figures before folks now had to make six figures.
Right.
Facts,
that's
right? And that's not to brag, but that's to say how things have changed and shifted. And so now it's become within our culture, it's become trendy. Oh, I want to do business. I want to do this and this and this. For us, it was never about trends. It was never about, we needed people to validate what it is that we're doing. We set out to do something that was put on our hearts to do.
That's exactly
and then we counted the cost, and then we basically jumped off the cliff without a parachute.
Right.
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 And so at that time, it wasn't popular to do that.
No, it wasn't.
Folks was like, you a fool to leave that job, leave them benefits and all those. And we took the bruises and the bumps and the scrapes and the scratches that came with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, now people don't have a sense of preparation because, like you said, they're fearing what's going to happen. They're fearing what people are going to say if it doesn't work out. And so all these different factors, you guys, are bringing in confusion and bringing about hesitation in the things that we can be pursuing in our, and that's what's adding to our lack of preparation. Mm-hmm. I can say it best like that. There's so many things I have on my heart to say. We're not preparing because we're going about thinking about the wrong things. Who can we appease? Who's going to validate me? Who's going to approve of me? Are people going to like what I'm doing? What if this doesn't work? What if I don't? Am I too old? Am I too young? So we're looking at all these different variables, and that is what is stopping us from adequately preparing.
Absolutely.
Not just in business,
right?
But
life.
in life,
yes.
In losing weight, when people say, "Hey, man, I want to start hitting the gym," it's going to be you and 500 other people at Planet Fitness come January 1st.
January through March.
January through March.
How do I know?
I'm a personal trainer.
I've seen this for the last 50 plus years.
And that's what we're talking about, you guys. We've seen the trends because of the area of expertise that we're in. My wife being in fitness and training, us being in graphic design, web development, all this stuff in marketing. The trend is, oh, I'm ready now. The trend is, the culture is, oh, I'm ready to do it. No. January 1st doesn't change anything. It changes the date on the calendar. Mm. This next segment that we've got coming up, babe, I really want to jump into some things that have to pertain with our mindset and how that needs to change.
Absolutely.
And some of the things that we had to overcome in our mind.
Yes.
Things not just overcome, but that we had to actually flip the script on and change. And if we didn't do that, if we didn't work on that, if we didn't identify those things, then we're going to go through this same cycle that we have gone through in years past. And other people will be going through the same thing. And we don't want you to. And so when we talk about more life, more love, more to explore, you guys, we have to really take an assessment of what is it that we need to change? What is preventing us from living more life? What is preventing us from getting more out of life? And could these things that are preventing us be self-inflicted?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Not necessarily outside sources or outside people, but are we keeping some of the wrong people in our lives that have the wrong voices and the wrong ideologies and mentalities?
Right.
Are we keeping some of the wrong systems in place that maybe they worked 5-10 years ago?
Right.
But they're not working anymore.
Right.
Are we keeping some of the same mantras and cliches that we go with? And we know how we do when it comes to the new year, 2005, everything coming alive. 2026, I'm gonna be in the mix. Everything is this rap and rhyme scheme, and it sounds good, and it sounds Christiany and churchy and all this stuff, but is it working? And we got to ask ourselves these kinds of questions so that we can get past these roadblocks that has been stopping us from living not just the good life, but the God life and more life. So you guys don't go nowhere. We're going to be right back in this next segment. We're finna dig into this thing today, you guys. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
It doesn't matter what they call you. What matters is what you answer to. Landisharay.
All right, you guys, and we are back with Living More with the Morgans, and we appreciate you guys not going anywhere and staying tuned right here on Living More with the Morgans. And as always, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, you guys, right here on YouTube. And don't forget also now, we didn't mention this in the first segment, but you can hit us up on all of our podcast channels. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio. Anywhere you like to listen to your podcast, you know you can find us. Simply search Living More with the Morgans and go ahead and rock with us, you guys. And so that last segment, we kind of ended on how we need to close out the year and really kind of take an assessment. But I want to ask you, babe, before we really jump into that, what are some things in your opinion that really surprised you about this year? We mentioned that 2025 was a tough year.
Right.
And I think that was kind of a surprise to me because of the expectations that I think we had. But in your opinion, and from your perspective, what were some things that really kind of surprised you or maybe caught you off guard this year?
One of the things that surprised me and I won't say caught me off guard, but what surprised me is how much through this time that my parents have passed, how strong I was and how I am. That was an eye opener for me because I thought that it would be a lot harder. Not saying it's not, but I literally could feel God really there for me during this time.
Right.
That was one of the things. I think some other things is that surprised me is that some relationships were started to become a bit strained. Mm-hmm. Don't know and understand. I didn't understand why.
Right.
So those are some of the things that kind of surprised me. I always remember we talk about this all the time. And people, and you hear it all the time where it says people sometimes that start with you don't mean they continue on with you. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes life goes in a different direction for people.
Right.
My dad used to tell me this all the time. I remember when me and my best friend had a long tenure of not being friends. So we didn't communicate for a long time, some years. And my father said to me, some relationships last forever, and some relationships don't. He said, but you will know, if this relationship will last. At some point in time, you'll see it. You'll get an understanding of, are they going in the same direction you're going? Not the same thing, but are they growing? Are they growing? Are they improving their lives as you're doing the same with yours? So some of the things that surprised me is, again, my parents, like I said earlier in the first segment, it was hard for me to go to, the dinner for Thanksgiving because, I wanted to be with my mom and my dad, and so that was challenging. And then just seeing some things, in relationship wise that I thought I literally prayed that they would not fall apart, or go in a different direction. So those are some of the things for me.
I can definitely attest to that because, especially I think when it comes to relationships, just to hit on that, when you haven't done anything to anybody, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we're asking the questions, well, what did I do?
Right.
Did I do something? Did something change?
Yeah.
What happened? And I think sometimes we're led to believe that we did something, and that is why that relationship has fickled. Right.
Well, you're human,
and you're human, and so you try to reason and get an understanding of like, well, what happened?
Right.
What I think what I learned this year though, it's not always what happened.
No.
Or did you do something?
Right.
You said it earlier that I've come to the conclusion that everybody that starts out with you is not going to stay with you.
That's so true.
And that every person that is cast in the movie, you have a scene, you have an appearance in this scene.
Right.
But because you had an appearance in this scene, in this part of the movie, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make it to the end.
That's right.
And to the end credits.
Right.
Now, when the credits roll, your name and your presence will be there.
Right.
But you are a part of the scene in this story.
Right.
And I know me personally, I had to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Because when people started drifting away or acting a certain kind of way or acting funny or flaky or whatever,
right.
I'm asking myself, did I do something?
Right.
Did we do something?
Right. Right.
We're asking ourselves that,
Yeah.
babe, okay, are we tripping?
Right.
But I think sometimes it's not that we're tripping, it's that we're progressing.
Yeah. Again, sometimes, people progress separately.
Right.
Not every relationship is going to last. We have to understand that,
right.
And that's just life. And so those were the things that kind of caught me off guard a bit. But at the same time, because of the wisdom that God has imparted into me, into us, we understand that is just a part of life.
Bingo. And not only is it a part of life, it is a part of growth.
And it's a part of growth.
Right.
That's even more important.
And so it's you don't hold shade, you don't hold animosity, you don't hold grudges or anything.
No, but you love and keep going.
Come on now. You love and you keep going already. You love and you keep going. Right. Because it's not. And that's the thing though, but that's something that we really genuinely had to learn.
Right.
Because we are people, we love hard, right?
Real hard.
Like
I do.
I know you do. Because but see, I'm more how we love is, I love more with caution.
Yes.
Right? I'm not to say that you aren't discerning, right. Because you very much so are.
Yeah.
But as a man, I have to be more cautious because I want to make sure nobody's trying to break us up or come in between what we're doing and building. Right. So I'm always going to be on that, had that one eyebrow raised, like, okay,
right.
We can take you in, but make sure we ain't green over here.
Right.
And
absolutely.
You dig what I'm saying? We're not green over here.
No.
So there's somebody that's looking and that's discerning.
Right. And I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I give them a chance.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because why? Christ gave us a chance.
Right.
So I have that heart to give you a chance to come into a little bit into my life.
Right.
Absolutely. And so that I can get to know you get to know me, you get to understand who I am. I bring you into my world.
And I think some of the things, honey, that God revealed in this process, it's not necessarily about who walked away or who got flaky, but he revealed to us that, again, certain people play certain parts in certain scenes of your life.
Right.
And you wish them well, you love them, you continue to love them, and you have a story to keep, you have a movie to keep filming. Right. You have life to keep doing.
But it's strange to me that people, in the time that it never fails, when you get married and when you lose a loved one, it's just like people become strange. They start to, I guess maybe show you who they really were, but they seem to become strange and pull away. And at this time, you hope that those people will stay around, hey, how are you? How's it going? How are you getting through, this time in your life? I'm praying for you. What have you, like I do.
And again, that's something that was revealed to us, that everybody may not have your heart.
Yeah, everybody does.
And they don't know your expectations of them.
Right. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And so how we may love on someone may not be reciprocal. It may not be how they love back on us.
That's right.
So we may be the ones that, oh, hey, I'm calling, check on you, how you doing, and you don't hear from them. Right. And so everybody shows their love differently. But then again, I think also what was revealed to us is that you have some people that if you give them enough time, they will show their true colors.
Right.
They will show, a leopard is going to show his spots eventually.
And I look for it.
Yeah. And we know to look for. So again, it's not shade, it's not, but those are things that I think God gives us the wisdom so that when you're going forward and you're progressing forward, not just in another year, you guys, but in life, that when you want to start doing more life, you got to now have discernment of who you're going to be doing more life with. Because you can't do more life with everybody because everybody don't want more life, and they probably don't want more life for you. Right. And so those are some things, and those are the bumps and the bruises and the scratching and surviving that we had to tussle with this past year, is to learn, okay, who are we going to be doing more life with? And if we're not going to do it with you, cool. There's no shade, there's no hate, there's no animosity. But I can't allow, if I'm going right and you're going left, or you're not going anywhere, then there's a time where I'm going to stop waiting on you to get with me to go right. Because I have a destination to go to. I have a God to serve. I have a God to glorify. Right. You dig? So I can't wait. I'm not going to wait on you. I'm not going to pull you. I'm not going to drag you. I'm going to love you, and I'm gonna keep it going. Right. Even Jesus said, yo, if you go into a city and they ain't trying to feel you, they're not hearing your message, whatever, he said, and I'm breaking it down how we would shoot them chunk the deuce and keep it bounce, bounce and move to the next place. Because you're not here to drag people along. Again, you fulfilled your place in that scene of the movie. That's right. And guess what? You still get rolling credits at the end of the movie. Right. But you may not make it till the fade to black at the end of the movie. Right. And you have to be fine with that, and I have to be fine with that. That's right. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Now, what will we do differently? Not just in the new year, but what we know to do now is make an attempt to really prepare for the people that we need or that we're looking to have in our lives, that are conducive to what it is that we're looking to build in our lives. That's right. And so when you make that assessment, you have to be, and I won't say rigid, but you have to be discerning, and you have to be like, okay, what are your intentions? Right. What are your motives? Right. You have to be a little bit more hard-nosed. Oh, absolutely. You have to be more protective. Yeah. Because now I value me more. Yeah. Oh, wow. You understand what I'm saying? Good. I value me now more. Yes. And so now that I value myself more, and I value, I'm getting my confidence back. I'm getting an understanding of who I am now. I'm getting an understanding of, okay, what it is that we've built as a marriage, as a relationship. Right. Now that I know the value that we have, can't just nobody come up in here no more. This has to be protected. Absolutely. At all costs. And so can't nobody just be like, oh, hey, Landa, return. Oh, no, we love you. We cool. But we're going to have to look. We're looking at you. Right. And we're discerning, okay, are you conducive to where it is that we're trying to go? Because the thing is, it's not a slight to you personally or to those people. Mm-hmm. But it's more, I have to protect what it is that God has put together. That's the key right there. That is what I wanted to say. Right. But absolutely. It is the protection of what was given to us. God gave us each other. Right. Right. We have to protect that. Mm-hmm. And so you're right. It's no, shade to anyone. Everyone, and this goes for your life. Exactly. Absolutely. Everyone can't stay in your life. There is there's a chapter they might be in, mm-hmm. and the next chapter, like you said, mm-hmm. they're not in. Right. And you have to be okay with that. You got to continue to keep going on your course, because if there are going to be all kind of roadblocks along the way, mm-hmm. but you have to continue on with your course. Even with my parents being gone, mm-hmm. I can't stop. Some days I want to stop, mm-hmm. but I can't stop because I have a mandate that I have to do, succeed or get to, mm-hmm. because God is I'm responsible for what He's given me. Mm-hmm. He's giving us to do. Mm-hmm. And my father and my mother would always tell me, you're going to have to continue on, mm-hmm. with what God put you here to do. My dad and my mom went through the same things, mm-hmm. what we're talking about now. And friends that no longer, right. All of a sudden, my mom had a friend that
it literally hurt her. And I talked to you about that, that she, a next door neighbor, I won't say next door, but on the highway neighbor, because our house was the only house. But my mother grieved that for a moment. For a moment she did. She's like, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? She did nothing. She did nothing wrong. So, and if she did do something that offended her, which I know she did not, but if she didn't tell her. Right. So my dad's had those situations too. We're all going to have those situations.
Right. And I think, I'll use this point that you were saying earlier, that when my responsibility to what God has for me is more important than any friendship or relationship I have over here.
Yes.
Right? Absolutely. He said, if you're not willing to leave mother, father, brother, sister, whatever, if you're not willing to leave those relationships and those bonds for the sake of the gospel and the kingdom, then you're not fit to be his disciple and to follow him. You dig? So you have already said, God, what you have for me and my family in this unit is not as important as me saving face over here with these folks.
Right. It's not.
That can be here today and gone tomorrow.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
And so I think one of the things that we're having to do now in preparing is, how are we resetting the house?
Yes.
How are we preparing our lives and our marriages and our mindsets for the coming year and for the things for ongoing years? What are we doing now? And so we're talking about people. And we talked about how we need to let go of certain relationships. And what that is baggage. Right. Those relationships are baggage. And again, it's like, if I know that I'm going to a certain destination and I need to be at the airport at a certain time, and you are sitting here lackadaisical, you're not getting ready, you haven't packed or whatever, you're not even prepared for the trip, then I'm going to miss my flight waiting on you.
Right.
And I've prepared. I've spent the money for the ticket. I've spent the money on the hotel to get there at a certain time. They know we're coming. They know I got this. I've packed whatever. And here it is that you haven't done that. And so you now become extra baggage.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
you now and so the relationships that we have, and not just relationships, our own pride. Our own mentalities become baggage now.
Right.
Because those are heavy things that we don't want to get rid of. Again, those mundane routine things, those cliches that we keep telling ourselves, oh, if I just do this, if I just say this, if I just spin around in a circle 8 times at the altar, everything's going to change. That is baggage.
That is baggage. And sometimes we carry it for years and years and years and don't realize it until we come to the realization of, I'm not progressing. Things are not happening for me.
And babe, I know we had to do that.
Absolutely.
This year, I know we looked at business.
Yes.
And we can sit there and point to the economy and say that there was different variables and different factors, but those weren't the only things.
They weren't.
There were some things that we weren't doing.
Right.
There were some things that we had to really take an assessment
to dig deep
and dig deep and be transparent and honest with ourselves and say, yo, we're not hitting the mark on this because we ain't doing XYZ.
Exactly.
And we didn't prepare.
Right.
Or we didn't let go of some things that we didn't pivot when we should have pivoted.
Right.
You dig?
Right.
And so when you don't do that and you don't get honest with yourself,
that's right.
Then you start fooling yourself with these lies that you keep telling us, oh, I got enough time.
Right.
Oh, I'm gonna change. Oh, when January comes, I'm gonna launch my business.
Right.
Oh, I'm me and my spouse, we gonna do XYZ, next year when the money's there or when the time is better.
Right.
And then you look up
or go to school.
I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna get that education. I'm gonna do XYZ. And then you look up and time is just dwindled away.
Absolutely. There's never going to be a good time to do anything. It's never going to be. When I went back to school years ago, it wasn't a good time to go back to school. I was a single parent then, divorced. It wasn't a good time. But I had to, this is what I wanted. And I had to say to myself, if you don't smash the button now, it's never going to happen. Right. You're going to always talk yourself out of it or always reason, oh, well, I got this going on and my daughter's in this and she's doing this. No, God says, if you do it, I'll make everything line up for you the way it should happen. Right. Didn't it?
And you hit on, you said the word do.
Right.
It's not what you attempt.
No.
Right? It's what you do. Whatsoever you do will prosper.
Right. Whatsoever you do.
He can't prosper a thought.
No.
He can't prosper just your intention.
Right.
He can't prosper just what you named it and claimed it.
Right.
He prospers what it is that you do.
That you do. Right.
And so you guys, we have to change our mindset and realign our priorities.
Right.
Right?
Right.
We're going to have to really, prepare and come back into realignment with what it is that we want, what it is that we've been called to. And I think sometimes even in doing that, we have to really take a look and put it out on the table and say, what am I spending my time on with things that aren't fruitful? Great word. What am I spending my time? What relationships am I still involved in? Who am I still fooling around with? Right? What are some of the things where are the places I'm still going?
Right.
Who are the people I'm still hanging out with?
Why am I still broke?
Why is my money still jacked?
Right.
And if you don't take that hard look and ask yourself those hard questions and confront yourself and confront your marriage or confront the relationships, then again, you're going to be spinning your wheels.
That's right.
And so we have to prepare our mindset. We have to prepare our spirits differently.
Right.
And again, this isn't just about, a new year, new me. No, you've done that and you're still the same person.
Right.
You've gone to New Year's and you've done New Year's and you went to church service on New Year's Eve and you brought in with a word and all this different stuff and you still broke.
Right.
I know we were.
Right. Because why? You didn't use or you didn't apply what it is that you heard. Okay. A lot of times we don't apply what we hear. It's just a good feeling at the moment. It's a shouting. It's a good feeling. We're throwing the balloons and hats up in the air.
Right.
But guess what? Work starts when you leave from there.
Right.
And you start sitting on the floor. Okay, with paper and pen and writing down and bringing out bills and bringing out things that you know that needs to be taken care of and looking at that and then going to the mirror and looking at yourself and saying, what do I need to change here? What is it that I'm doing that is causing me to be still stuck in this position?
Babe, I've never seen, and you own it. I mean, you own it. I've never seen a farmer look out in the field and say, man, I name it and claim it. This thing is going to be fruitful. Or, man, I name it and claim it. Or, I wish there's going to be some crops that's growing. No, that joker's got to get out there.
I know.
And I know you know. But that joker's got to get out there and plow the land, till the land, do what he has to do, get the fertilizer, get the soil broken up or whatever, irrigate the soil.
Right.
He's got to prepare that land and that farm.
Right.
To get the increase that he's expecting. So the name it, claim it ain't going to do it, y'all. And it hasn't been doing it.
Right.
And if you take a real hard look at yourself and your life, has it been doing it?
Has it?
Are we going to still continue with the same mundane, boring, cliche stuff that we've been doing year after year?
Right.
And the reason why we even coming to you guys with this is because we've done it.
And we're doing it.
Right.
Right.
We had to make a decision to say, do we really want to have the, and you know what? And we're gonna really jump into this on our last segment here. But I think we had to make a decision that a new year, new me doesn't start on January 1st.
It doesn't.
That the devil is a lie with that crap.
It doesn't, yeah.
That's hogwash.
Yeah, we done bought into that.
We done bought into that stuff too long, particularly in our culture as Black folks.
Right.
We've done that. Oh, new year, new me. I name it, claim it stuff, and we're down at the altar. We've done that, and ain't nothing changed, and we still broke and still broken.
Right.
there has to come a time where we're going to have to really say, you know what, enough is enough, and too much stinks.
Right.
And when we really get tired of being sick and tired, we ain't waiting until no January 1st.
Right.
We're not waiting till, oh, well, the new year's coming and I'm gonna do this with my business. Or I'm gonna do this with my family, or I'm gonna finally take my wife on vacation or whatever. No. A new year, right. A new year, new me,
right.
New you can start the day when you say this is going to be new.
You make up your mind.
When you make up your mind.
Right.
There you go, babe. When you make up,
you can say it, but if you don't make up in your mind that this is it,
this is it. I'm not waiting until 2026 to get my money right.
Right.
I'm not waiting until 2026 to learn financial literacy and all this different stuff. To get healthy. To eat better. I'm not waiting until January 1st to do that.
Right.
No, I'm gonna start today.
To live. Right.
I want more life. I want more love, and I got more to explore. I'm gonna start doing that now. I'm not waiting till January 1st.
Right.
I'm not waiting till after our 21-day fast in January.
Right.
When most churches do that, and nothing against that, but is it working?
Right.
Is it producing a crop? Is it producing harvest?
Right. And we're not saying not to fast.
And we're not saying because we fast.
But we're saying, again, I'll make the illustration, I'll bring it home even more. Remember, I was talking to you earlier today about, we grew up with cattle. Mm-hmm. Okay, we had a farm, we had, crops, we had all of that. When we would go get, and I was meaning to say this to you earlier, when we would go get hay for our cows, we had cattle. We didn't have a few cows. We had cattle. When we went to go get that hay, my dad, my brother, and I, and my mom, when we would go to where my dad would buy his hay from, he did not buy that hay in the wintertime. Mm-hmm. Remember the ant? Mm-hmm. He bought the hay in the summertime, in the springtime, when the hay was available. And what he did was he went and got the hay, brought it back and put it and stored it in the barns, the ants, so that when time come that the cows needed some food, and if anything was lean, we had it. You had it. So you don't wait till the last minute to do anything. You don't do anything at the last minute. You go ahead and you prepare.
And you don't do the thing that you need to do when you need it.
When you need it. You do it before
you do it before the need is.
Right.
That's why in the 7 years of plenty, you store up for the 7 years of lean.
That's right.
So when they come, you're not sitting there looking stupid when the lean times come.
That's right.
And so you guys, again, we're talking about changing our mentalities and changing our mindset on how we do things. And so we can't continue to go into new territory and new year with the same old mindset, doing the same old stuff that we've done before.
Right.
And again, and just to clarify,
sure,
when we talked about fasting, we're not saying not to fast because we fast, but we fast before a new year.
That's what I was trying to make.
Right? Why wait till January gets here to start fasting for that year? No, we're fasting in preparation before the year comes.
Right.
So that when the year comes, we're ready to hit the road. We're ready to rock and roll.
Right. We're ready to hit the
We've heard from God. We've heard what he has to say in our spirit.
Right.
We've got direction. We've got strategy.
Right.
And now we're ready to rock and roll.
We're ready to go.
Don't go nowhere, you guys. We'll be right back with more with the Morgans.
Where can I find a professional logo designer? Wow, nice. Infusion Design Solutions. Visit us online at infusion.com.
All right, fam, and we are back with Living More with the Morgans. And we've been having a good discussion today, you guys. And so I think we've been having a good time and good discussion.
Good, yes.
And I think it's needed, right?
Yes.
It's a needed discussion. And so we kind of ended the last segment we were talking about even some of the spiritual things that we've learned to do over the years and that we've learned to kind of even switch up and change.
Right.
And I think within our culture, one thing that we tend to do, in the Christian community is we'll open the new year in a fast, right? And like we were saying in the last segment, we don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, if that's a custom or a tradition that you do or your family does or your church does, nothing against that. Nothing. We're not saying anything against that. I want to make that very clear. But I think one thing that we've done differently and that we've learned to do differently is we want to prepare spiritually before going into a new year. Right. And setting the atmosphere, if you will. Again, not waiting on the baby to arrive, but knowing with expectation that that baby is going to come. So we're going to prepare space. We're going to prepare our resources. We're going to prepare our mindsets spiritually and our emotions and all that stuff that comes with it. We're going to prepare before we get into that new season. Right. And so one thing that we said earlier, though, is that your new year can start when you declare it to be the new year. When you say, this is what's going to be new. This is the day, right? The next day that you wake up, this is going to be that day that things change. And so I want to hit on that, but the reason why I kind of want to make a little slight detour in this with regard to the spiritual aspect of it. Here in the Western world and many parts of the world, we go by the Gregorian calendar. Right. And by going by the Gregorian calendar, our Gregorian calendar, says that January 1st is the first day of the year. Right. Now, we also know that in other cultures, whether it's in Chinese culture, some Asian cultures, even in Jewish culture and so forth, that the new year is not on January 1st.
Right. That's right.
Right. And in the Jewish tradition, they more so go by Rosh Hashanah, which is in September, as their new year or the Jewish new year. You might have a different time for the Chinese New Year. I think even for Ethiopians in Africa, they have a different new year and a different time where they bring in the new year. And so by our calendar that much of the Western world goes by, of course, is the Gregorian calendar, and January 1st is that new year. Now, January 1st, we know, is in the dead of winter, right? So we smack dab in the winter. But we know that seasons transition from spring, which is the growth, the budding of a thing. That's why it's called spring and forth. So spring, the summer, fall, which things start to turn, and then winter, when things are barren, things are cold, so forth and so on. So why wouldn't the new year be in the spring? Right. Why would the new year be in the dead of winter? Right. So, but our Western world, our Western society has adopted that Gregorian calendar. And so we take January 1st to be the new year, right? Right. But if we go to scripture,
let's go to scripture.
If we go to scripture and you go to the book of Exodus, the Bible says that God said to his people that today, in the Jewish or the Hebrew, let me say Hebrew. Right. I want to say Hebrew. Right. I want to make that the distinction between Hebrew and Jewish. Right. Because the Jewish has a different calendar and they have different traditions that they go by. But from the original Hebrew, right, in the book of Exodus, God said your days would start or your months would start at this time. And if you study that, you guys, it's the month of Nisan, Nisan. And in Nisan, if you calculate that according to the Gregorian calendar, it's right around March, April, or spring, where we get spring. So according to Exodus, the new year that God said, not Jewish tradition, not Gregorian calendar, not even Ethiopian calendar, according to God's word, and the month of Nisan in the Hebrew calendar, the new year would begin and what we call the springtime, between March and April, which makes sense to me.
Makes a lot of sense.
Because that is spring, when things are springing forth.
Yep.
That's when, even in Jewish tradition or Christian tradition, you're celebrating Passover. And so our times have gotten kind of funky throughout the generations and throughout time. And so we've adopted January 1st. And I wanted to go there, babe. I wanted to kind of give that back history.
Right. Because we've done it.
Because we've done it,
but
right?
Like you just said, the more you get, the Bible says, in all thy getting, get an understanding.
Right.
And what we do is we study. The Bible says what? Study to show thyself approved.
Facts.
The Bible also says seek, knock, you will find what you're looking for. You'll find God. If you would seek him with your what?
Your whole heart.
Not part of it. Well, my reasoning, I'm going to keep that, but I'm going to try to seek you with this piece of my heart. No, it's your whole heart.
And I think we take stuff for face value too
much.
And then when we do
don't
that,
challenge it. Yeah.
We don't challenge what we've heard.
With the Spirit,
like I would even tell people, challenge what I just said.
Right.
Don't take my word for it. Go to scripture, study it out. You can go to ChatGPT if you want to, Google, and go study it out according to the word of God. Yes. And the book of Exodus. Right. Go study it. And when God says your months, your days, and for your year begin at this time. Right. When he says that, I didn't find that revelation until this year, 2025.
Right. That's right.
And when I saw that, I was like, yo.
Right.
So what is January 1st?
Right.
And that's according to the winter solstice and the moon and all this different stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, I said, Lord, has man jacked up time that much? And he's like, well, yeah. You guys have this daylight saving time in only certain states in the United States, that Hawaii ain't got it, Arizona ain't got it, but everybody else got daylight saving time.
Right.
And he's like, who had the audacity to say we need to bump up a time or fall back a time in order for the crops to be harvested or whatever, all this stuff that we're playing with, that we've built our traditions and we've built our lives around some of these falsehoods or some of these traditional things that don't even coincide with nothing that God has set in stone for us. Right. And so I wanted to share that just to kind of give some backstory to you guys, because when we say January 1st, new year, new me, is it? Is it? You can look in your Bible. You can go on your Google. Is January 1st the new year, really? Or is that something that we have adopted, that God has kind of said, okay, well, I'm cool with them doing that, and he's allowed it in our ignorance? Because I think once you study and once you get an understanding, it's hard for you to kind of go back to what you used to know. Yeah. And so we're getting an understanding of a lot of things, and we have been this year, that maybe some of the things that we've been told and taught are not consistent with what the truth is.
Right. Absolutely.
And so now we're having to do what? We're having to pivot our lives and restructure and change some of the systems that maybe used to work with that old information, that old data. It used to work then. Right. It's like now, if I'm still using a Macintosh computer from 1985,
you ain't getting nowhere.
I ain't getting nothing done. You did? Nothing's getting done.
Right.
So I have to upgrade my software. I got to upgrade the whole machine, not just the software. Hardware and software got to be upgraded.
Right.
Because nothing's going to work. Now, back in '85, that Macintosh was the lick.
It wasn't.
It was the lick. And it did what I needed to do in '85.
Right.
But in 2025, if you're still using a Macintosh from '85, you're not getting nothing done.
Everything you're doing is in 85.
And so if we can say that about technology, then why can we not say that about upgrading our mindsets, upgrading our mentalities, upgrading the things in our lives and the systems in our lives by saying, you know what? I can't really get done what I need to get done operating with this old hardware and software.
Right. And having the will to want to get more of an understanding, to dig more, to dig deeper.
I see where you're going.
Right?
I see
to
where you're
dig
going.
deeper instead of taking things at face value. Dig deeper, get more of an understanding, research. Right? Don't just stop when someone says, oh, well, this is how it is and this is how it's always been and this is how it should be. No, you go and research that. You know, that's what we do. We do a lot of research. Somebody can tell us something, but we want to get a more of an understanding. We want to really know. Let me dig a little deeper. You understand, into this research. Don't take like Landon said, don't take his word for it. Go and research what we're saying. Because when things start when you get closer and closer and closer to God, when you get closer and closer, another thing, when people around you start to pass, you start to realize, I don't have time to keep doing the same things I've always done and getting the same results. Now, again, that doesn't mean going to do something else, that is not going to be conducive to where you're going or what you need to be doing. And going and just being foolish. Oh, okay, you were foolish over here, I'm gonna go be foolish over here. No, get an understanding of what it is that you know you need and what you want from life. Like you said, the calendar itself, it's wrong. Right. I'm just gonna be honest. It's wrong. Right. And that's what happens. So many people stay sick. It affects so many things. It affects your mental health. It affects your physical health. It can affect everything when you're off on God's calendar. Okay. On God's clock.
That part. Right. I love that you said that. Yeah. Because we would be foolish to think that God never wanted man to walk in sync with him and his time. Right. So one of the things that we always say is, oh, well, it's in God's time. Okay. And it is.
It is.
But do we not know, or do we not, if we just really think now, y'all got to put on your thinking caps with me real quick. Do you really think God wanted man, his creation, his prized creation, to be on a separate timeline and a separate vibration, that, as the young people say today? Do you really think God wanted that, where we would be out of sync with what his timing is? Right. That's why we should never have to say, oh, well, it's in God's time. No. We should be in his direct alignment.
Right. In his time.
In his time.
Absolutely.
And so if we're sitting here talking about January 1st is the new year, but according to scripture, God is saying your days, your months, whatever, begin here. And then China is saying, oh no, our days and months and the new year begins here. And Ethiopia is saying something different. And another part of the world is saying something different. Then who's right? Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Like, who? So it's confusing. There's so much confusion that it's no wonder man is not in God's time. Right. It's no wonder, like you said, that people are sick, or people, because our frequency is not in alignment with what God's intentional timing was for us.
That's exactly right.
And so when we start trying to talk about, oh, new year, new me. Right. No, now is the time. Now is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made.
Right.
You dig?
Right.
So we're not waiting until January 1st, family.
Right.
That's another day on the calendar. And many of us here in the West are living in the wrong calendar. Right. Now, thank God for grace that he's allowed us in our ignorance of certain things to stay within that. Right. And he's even honored our ignorance in staying in that. Right. But when you start thinking and operating on a different level, when he starts revealing some things to you, and we ain't got it all figured out, we're still learning. Like I said, this was a year of us coming into some knowledge and revelation of things that he was telling us. You got to do this differently. You got to pivot. You got to switch some things up.
Yes.
You got to get on another wavelength, another system.
Yes.
With me. You got to upgrade. That Macintosh, that was great in 85.
Right.
But in 2025, 26 and going, we in an AI world. And a lot of people, babe, I hate to say it this way, a lot of people are still on that old mainframe computer, them old IBMs from the 70s. They're still on that when we are in an AI world right now. And it's inevitable.
Right. Learn it. Don't be afraid. I'll say this, and I've said this to you. My ex-mother-in-law, she was a guru at learning things. Mm-hmm. She took classes just to know when the cell phones became so popular. Mm-hmm. She went and took classes on how to learn about a cell phone, how to make calls with them, whatever. She knew how to do that, but how to be more efficient. What all do that phone offer other than making and receiving and making calls? Mm-hmm. She did that. She went and took computer classes. Mm-hmm. She was in her 70s. And she's still a learner today. She's still learning. And I think in AI, my daughter was telling me, Grandma is learning AI. She's in her 80s.
Yes.
Do not stop learning.
Right.
Do not stop learning. When you stop learning, you stop growing. Okay? Mm-hmm. You stop growing. AI is here. It's going to take, and I know this wasn't part of our segment, but it's going to take over some jobs. Mm-hmm. It's going to take over. Maybe we're talking to you. Your job might be affected.
But see, we're talking about systems,
right? We're talking about systems.
And so before you jump into the systems and technology, the mindset has to change. You're on point. We're on point with what we're saying. Is that your mentality has to change towards the things that are being thrown at you with technology. You can't run from it. You can't call it the devil.
Right.
It is what it is. It's here. And so the mindset now has to change because, again, I use that same analogy. We're not on the Macintosh in 85 no more.
Right.
We're now on AI.
Right.
We're now on quick, fast information you get on your phones. Right. So I'm using that as an analogy, as a metaphor to say that in going into the new year, in going into this new you that you want to become, the mindset has to change. The mentality has to change.
Right.
So the stuff that you used to run away from and ignore back in the day, you're going to have to confront it now.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You can't be like, oh, well, no. No, it is what it is, and it's here to stay, and you have to adapt to it.
And what if all of the fear is for nothing?
Nothing.
What if using AI, you can use that if you're in business, for your business. Mm-hmm. You're going to school, how you can learn it in school, mm-hmm. How you can use AI or how you can use the new way of thinking or new way of thinking that's going to help set you up for your life and your future.
I know you own it, and I'm gonna say, and I can share this openly and being transparent.
Right.
I was apprehensive about AI.
Yes.
You remember earlier in the year?
Yeah, but why are you not?
Because I've seen how it's helped transform not just our business, but our thinking. Right?
Yes.
And so we don't use it to think for us. We use it collaboratively.
Right.
That's why it's called artificial intelligence. We have absolute intelligence.
Right. Absolute intelligence.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And so what we get, we collaborate with that intelligence or that AI that's out there.
Right.
But for a minute, I'll be honest, I was looking at all of the negative that people were saying. Oh, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, and here I am, and as young as we are, I'm looking at it and saying, okay, now why am I in fear of this technology? And I'm seeing people making money with it. I'm seeing people grow businesses with it. I'm seeing people do things even in ministry with it. And I'm sitting here like, well, why am I tripping? And God is talking to me, asking me the same question. Why are you tripping with this?
It hit me even more when Pastor Sarah Jakes, our pastor, when she talked about AI. When she was talking about how it helped her with certain things that she needed done. And when she said that when she was ministering, remember that? When she was ministering, that's what made me even more. And then the same eye opener came to me as well. It's like, you are a digital marketing company.
You better
stay on AI.
Yeah, you better stay on top of what's going on.
Yeah, you better know it.
And so that mindset, you guys, is what we're talking about. Is that the mindset has to shift, because if not, you're going to get more of the same that you've always had. And you don't want that. No. And we don't want that.
No.
And so what we've had to do is really dig in, even into our finances. Is what is the problem? What can we do? What do we need to do better? And we didn't have it figured out. And maybe it was pride, maybe it was lack of knowledge, but the Bible says, and it talks about how knowledge, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. Now, we always equate that, particularly in the church, and us as Black folks, we always think we over spiritualize stuff, and we think, oh, that's only godly wisdom and what the Lord done said. No, we are perishing because of practical knowledge and information that we don't know, or we don't even know that's out there that we can get access to, and we're dying. It says perishing. So not only literally are people dying because of lack of information, but our ideas are dying, our marriages are dying, our ministries are dying, our dreams are dying, our children are dying, another generation is dying because of information that is accessible and that's out there, but we don't look to go get it. And we just think, and sometimes we do this, we think, oh, God's just going to hand it to us and it's just going to rain down on us. No, even the book says seek, and you will find, knock, and the door will be open. If you aren't doing no knocking, then that tells me you don't really want to get up in here. You don't really want this information that's behind this door because you're not knocking.
And don't be afraid of what you discover, because when you are going to do any type of changing, it's going to you're going to become a new person. It's going to be a new person that you are looking at, and that's a good thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes I think that we are so afraid that we don't have what it takes to be that new person. We don't have what it takes to maintain it or whatever. And we do. And God he said, I made you in my own image. So he's given you everything you need. But we have to confront ourselves, our own ideologies. We have to confront even the things that we were told or we grew up knowing or grew up thinking. Everything has to change when you want something better for your life and your family's lives.
You're absolutely 100%, babe. And I would say this, just to throw this in there. When you start becoming a new person, old people will likely either turn on you or they're going to be in support of the new person you're becoming. Right. And so what people tend to do is, if they're not willing to get on the level, when you start leveling up and you have old people around you that aren't willing to level up with you, you start becoming the villain to them.
More than likely, those people, again, that's why a lot of people don't like change.
Absolutely.
Because I know that potentially could pull these people away from me.
Right.
And I've had them in my life for all these years and years.
Right.
And sometimes, I mean, again, some people will stay. Okay. But a majority, no. It's and I think there's a fear there, because I know, I mean, I have to be honest. As I've grown and now I'm grown and in my late 50s and stuff, I had that, you know, that fear. I don't want to lose these people, but I don't want to lose God. And I don't want to lose more than anything. Right. I want to finish this race and this course that I am on. That's more important to me. The love is never going to be, you know, not there. But I have a race to run. I have responsibilities and things that God has put in me, and gifts and callings in me, in us, that we have to fulfill, that you have to fulfill. So we can't be afraid of that change. We have to embrace it. Is it going to be difficult? Yeah, it will be. But we have to embrace it. And then we have to say, God, help us in this.
Absolutely.
Because this is new, this is scary, but I know you have my back.
Honey, new is hard.
New is hard.
But staying old is harder.
We've lived it.
Staying antiquated, staying in the past is harder.
Yes.
And so we embrace the new.
Right.
We look forward to the new.
Yes.
But we have to prepare for the new.
Prepare for it.
And you have to get your house in order. You have to get you in order.
Yeah.
And you have to get that mentality and that thinking in order.
Yes.
And upgrade your systems. And family, sometimes within our culture, that's the last thing we want to do, is we want to stay complacent. We want to be comfortable. We want to be comfortable in transition. We want to be comfortable in change. And y'all, true change ain't comfortable.
No, it's not.
What 2025 did with us is it had to take us out of our comfort zone. And I can admit, I got comfortable. Even in our lowness, even in our our downtrodden, I got comfortable, because I'm like, I want to do it my way, and I've done it this way, and I've done business this way, and it should work.
Yeah.
And God was forcing me out of that mentality and that thinking. And he said, son, you're going to have to level up, not just for you, but you got people counting on you.
That's right.
To come up here where I'm at. Your thinking has to come up. Your intentions have to come up. Your desires have to come up. My desires aren't the same now at 44, going on 45, as they were at 24, 25.
Right.
Even my wants are not the same.
That's right. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And so
it shouldn't be.
And they shouldn't be, because maturity, life, all these things now give me a different trajectory at this stage in my life than they did when I was in my 20s and my 30s.
Right.
But I won't attain those things if I'm still operating on systems that I had in my 20s, that I had in my 30s, that I had in my early 40s, that I had just last year. I won't attain those things and get those expectations because of that.
Right.
But you guys stick around. We got one more segment, and we're going to let you get up out of here. This is Living More with the Morgans, you guys. We'll be right back. All right, family, and welcome back to Living More with the Morgans. And, you know, we're going to go ahead and close today's show out. And I think it's been a good one. I think it's been a great conversation. And hopefully it's been a conversation that you have an understanding that we have been walking this journey and these steps out with you. And we're not gurus. We don't have it all figured out.
Right.
And so we need help, we need information, we need knowledge, just like anybody else does. But one of the things that we're doing and we're willing to do now is we're willing to challenge what we thought we knew.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're willing to challenge what we've heard before that may not necessarily be truth, or may not necessarily be what is going to help usher us into the next. It was good for a time. It was good for that season. What we used to harvest our crops in 5 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe that brook has dried up. Maybe that land is not nutrient rich anymore. Maybe we got out all the nutrients that we needed for that time. And now we need to move on to greener pastures, to more fertile land, because we still have seed to sow.
That's right.
You dig?
Yes.
We still have things that we need to do on the earth. We still have things and people that we need to help in all this. And so just because we're saying we need to make this pivot, I think about Abraham, when God told him to get away from your people, get away from your kinfolk, get away from these folks, and go to a land that I will show you. Now, I'm sure Abraham lost some friends. I'm sure some folk had a problem with him. Who do Sarah and Abraham think they are? Why God using them? Why God moving them? I'm sure there was some folk.
Right.
But family, when you have a call, when you have a desire to really walk these things out in life, when you really have this urgency to experience more, to attain more, to be able to leave more and give more, you won't stick with what you've always done, and you won't stick with what you've always known.
Right.
You will challenge yourself, and you will answer the challenge. That's that right. God says, okay, it's time to shift. It's time to do this. It's time to do this. The obedience in doing that is better than the sacrifice. And I had to learn that straight up this year, because in my comfort, in my stubbornness, in my ignorance, I'm willing to go through the sacrifice of getting beat up, of spiritually, of getting beat up in our finances, of not reaping the harvest in our marriage and in our relationships as much as we could have been. Yes. I was comfortable enough to take the whooping in the sacrifice. And I had to look and say, now, hold on, this isn't only detrimental to me.
Right, right.
But what is it doing to you?
Absolutely.
What is it doing for my family?
Yeah.
And this thing can't just be about me and my comfort and what I want. No, I've got work to do. I've got people that are dependent upon me. I've got a family that's depending on me. And I've got a God that is calling me to something greater and bigger than just sticking around here doing what I've done before that's not getting me anywhere with where he's trying to lead me to now.
Right, right. And letting go of everything that is not good. Anything that, any anger, any jealousy, envy, anything that will hold or keep you in that same place. Begin, if there's people you need to apologize to, if there's people that have hurt you and you've never got or received that apology, let it go.
Yeah.
Well, you say let it go. It's easy said than done. It is. But your health and your mental health is more important than holding on to anything or anyone that has done something to you indirectly or not directly or indirectly, right? We must change everything. That's from the inside out. So new year, new me, not just the physical. The gyms and the fitness centers will be packed with people. But if you do anything temporary, anything, you'll only get temporary results. You're not going to lose weight today and think it's going to stay out the next 2 to 3 to 5 years, and you're still eating McDonald's, Wendy's, and everything else. You have to change. We must change. And once I said it earlier, it's not easy, but it is doable. You can do it. Get around people that will help you. Get books, buy books, journal. I'm a journal. I journal.
Mm-hmm.
My husband started journaling.
Yeah.
I've done it for years. Journal. Be honest about your day. Be honest about the things that you need to be honest about with yourself, with your family, where you want to go, where you're not. Oh, I messed up today. I didn't do this. Even if you're on a journey to eat better. Oh, today I messed up. So what? We all mess up.
Mm-hmm.
Get back on the horse and keep riding.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's it.
That's what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
We had to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We can't be bullheaded and stubborn and think that our lives are going to be better. They're going to change for the better. Keep praying, keep spinning, rolling in the aisles all you want to. You can hucklebuck from the parking lot to the church. Right. It's not going to change until what? You change.
Until you change.
Until you make up your mind to change. Them sodas, my husband, he's done a lot better with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Them sodas, drinking all of that, and you got health issues already, eating bad, is not going to help you be healed or be better in your health. It's going to do what? It's going to make your health even worse.
Right.
So, family, what we're saying is don't sit back and make excuses anymore. We had to say that to ourselves.
Right. Absolutely.
We're making excuses. And because why? Because of fear, the fear of the unknown. But it's just like that illustration with Jesus having the teddy bear behind his back for the little girl. She wanted to keep the beat up teddy bear, mm-hmm. but he had something and it was smaller. But what he had behind his back was bigger, newer, and better. Mm-hmm. And we want better. Mm-hmm. We want God's best. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you guys, my wife is touching on the physical, but it applies to every area.
Every area.
If you're going to consume junk, your body is going to give out junk.
Yeah.
Not just physically.
Right.
But if your soul, if your spirit keeps consuming the same old junk,
right,
that you've been doing and getting and allowing year after year after year, then your results are going to show junk. In business, family, you start today. Like we said earlier in the program, there's no opportune time to start.
It's not.
Don't go with the trends. Don't go with what's popular or what the gurus and the YouTube gurus and all these folks are saying. And I make $50,000 with this pyramid scheme.
They're not going to tell you everything.
They're not going to tell you all the stuff that goes with that.
No.
And everybody who's out here blinging and got Bentleys and all this stuff, no. This isn't about trends. This is about your livelihood. This is about leaving something to your children's children's children.
Right.
This is about longevity.
Right.
This is about having something that is real, that is lasting, that is tangible. And so take the necessary steps, get the strategies. Like my wife said, get the books, read. We got to get back to reading.
Right.
You're not going to get everything in a YouTube video in a 10-minute clip or a 2-minute reel on Facebook. Get back into reading books from people who are knowledgeable, that have put in the work, that have the results, so that you can start devising game plans for yourself that help you for your family and your future. So your new year don't start January 1st. Your new year starts now. Your new year starts when you decide, no, enough is enough. And I'm going to go ahead and walk this thing out. I'm going to go ahead and start putting in the work.
Right.
Your new year will start when you say, I'm going to start getting serious about my finances because I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of not being able to take my wife and my family on vacation. I'm tired of not having nothing in my bank account. I'm tired of dealing with this credit card debt or these school fees or whatever. When you get tired, that's when your new year can start. That's when your new you can start. And so, family, a lot of information in this one, but hopefully a lot of good information that you can take from it. And again, apply it in all the areas of your life. We're having to do it. So you're not alone.
And you can do it.
And you can do it.
We believe you.
And we believe in you.
Right.
And if you need someone to chop it up with and talk to, hit us up on our social media pages.
Right.
Again, you can find us on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on TikTok, Threads, Instagram. You can find us. You can also find us on our website at www.livingmorewiththemorgans.com. And don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube, because we have, I believe, wisdom and principles and information that can help. And you have information that can help us.
Right.
We're doing this life together, family.
That's right.
We ain't got it all figured out. You ain't got it all figured out. But together, we can get this thing figured out. So until next time, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. And let us know if this helped you. Let us know how Living More with the Morgans. Let us know if you're jiving with it, if you're really rocking with us.
Yes.
We want to hear more from you. We want to see more of you.
Right.
Share the broadcast. Share it with people that you know, single people, young people, older people, married people. Share it with your people. And let us know. Y'all Morgans, man, y'all got something. Not so that we can toot our horn, but so that we know that what God has given us is helping you as well. We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Thanks for tuning in.